Okay, everybody. So we have a transportation problem, and we have been talking about northwest corner rule, matrix minima method, row minima method, column minima method. All these methods we have discussed, except Vogel's approximation method. For finding these methods are actually for finding the initial basic feasible solution. Initial basic feasible solution. Now I will talk about Vogel's approximation, and with that approximation method we'll get the initial basic feasible solution, and we will see the solution is optimal or not. So here you have a question. Let us start with a question. Determine the optimal basic solution to the following transportation problem. So what is a transportation problem? Just check. ABC are the destinations, 1, 2, 3 are the origins, and you see the matrix is 50, 30, 220, 90, 45, 170, 250, 250, and the availability are given here 1, 4, 4. So it's 9, and the requirement is 4, 2, 3, it's 9. So it is a balanced transportation problem. It is a balanced transportation problem. So let us apply Vogel's approximation method, or very short form, it is called VAM. VAM. So in this method, first of all, in a first row, what is the least elements? Two least elements. You have to find out two least elements and take the difference of these two. So here in the first row, you have 50 and 30 as the least elements, and take the difference of these two. So 50 minus 30, that's gonna be 20. Next row, just calculate that, just do the same thing, same operation you have to do. So in the next row, take the two least elements. 90 and 45 are the two least elements. You have to consider two least elements. So subtract, take the difference of these two. 90 minus 45, that's going to be 45. So write in the bracket with that row corresponding, and then do the same process on the third row. It's going to be 250, and the difference is 150. Okay. Do the same process in the column. That means you have to select the two least elements along the columns. So in the first column, two least elements are 50 and 90. In the second column, so 50 and 90, so the difference will be 40. So write in the bracket, open brackets, 40, and write below. That is, it's corresponding to the column. You write corresponding to the column. In the second column, similarly, you select the two minimum elements and take the difference. So it's gonna be 45 and 30. So difference is 15, write the 15. And for the last column, that is the third column, 170 and 50, and if you take the difference, that's going to be 120. This is the first method. First step in Vogel's approximation. Take the two least, consider the two least elements, take the difference along rows, along columns. Okay. Now along all the differences, that is 20, 45, 150, 40, 15, 120, choose the maximum one. Choose the maximum one. So 20, 45, 150, considering rows and columns, the differences, all the differences, 20, 45, 150, 40, 15, 120. So 150 is the maximum. So I'm writing here, choose the maximum from the brackets and select the corresponding minimum element. So 150 is maximum. So along that, corresponding to that row, 150 actually corresponds to some row, third row. Along that row, choose the minimum element in the matrix in that row. So 50 is the minimum. So put a cell. You see a cell is there at the corner. So put a cell in the 3, 3 position. That is third row, third column position. And what is the requirement? Requirement is 3, and demand requirement is 3, and availability is 4. So 3 is minimum, just give the availability. So put the availability here, that is 3. So availability at this destination C has been exhausted. exhausted. So 3 sub put here. So it exhausted, and 4 minus 3, it's gonna be 1. So let's, and this column will delete, just ignore this column, not required this column. So go to the next step, next table. So it's 1, look at that, 4 minus 3, it's 1, 4, 2, and it's 1, 4, 1. So 1, 4, 1, 4, 2, and look at that, third column is not there because availability has been exhausted. So you have only availability at A and B, and origins are 1, 2, 3. So do the same process, repeat the same process in table 1. That means already you have 2 elements along the rows. So take the difference, it's gonna be 20, 45, and 250 minus 200, that's gonna be 50. And choose the minimum, 2 minimum elements along the columns, 50 and 90, that's gonna be 40, and 30 and 45, that's gonna be 15. So you are doing the same process and choose the maximum in the brackets. So in all the parentheses, 50 is the maximum one. So along this, and 50 corresponds to third row. So along this row, select the minimum element, that is 200, that is the minimum cost actually, 200, and put the cell in that 3, 2 position. So it is the 3, 2 position, third row, second column position. Put the cell, and out of in this cell, actually the availability is 1 and demand is 2. Availability is 1 and demand is 2. So 1 is the minimum. So just put 1 in the cell. So availability has been exhausted in 3. So delete origin 3. Origin 3 has been omit or ignore. So in the next table, you see you have the reduced table, which having 1, 4, and 2 minus 1 is 1. So you do the same process, and finally you have this table. Doing the same process, you are doing the same process. This is VAM. This is the Vogel's approximation method, and you have finally this table. Okay, this is the next one, 50, 30, 90, 45, and do the same process. Out of this, your maximum is 45. So along this row, choose the minimum element, that is 45, and availability is 4 and demand is 1. So put your demand here because demand is less. So 1, so it's 4 minus 1, 3. So 1, 3, 4. So it's a balanced. So you here at 1 the availability is 1, at 2 the availability is 3, and origin destination A has demand 4. So 3 plus 1, 4. Just put your, say, in the cell 1 and 3. That completes the process of Vogel's approximation method. Now finally you have this table. Wherever you have cells, just put the cells in the final matrix. So 1, 2, 3 ABC, and you put the cells here, 1, 3, 1, 1, 3. Now how do you know your process is correct or not? There is a check. You can cross check your process. So these are called basic cells actually, where you have a cell, additional cell in the corner. So these are called basic cells. So how many basic cells are there? Actually you have 5 basic cells. So and there is a check for that. So n plus m minus 1 should be the number of basic cells. N is your number of rows, m is your columns. So n is 3, m is 3, 3 plus 3, 6, minus 1, 5. So number of basic cells should be 5. So that is that you can cross check your process. It is correct. And where there is no cell, those are called non-basic cells. So you can calculate the initial basic feasible solution. Initial basic feasible solution is x111, x213, x221, and x321 and x333, and you can calculate the cost. 1 into 50, 3 into 90, plus 1 into 45, 1 into 200, plus 3 into 150, in this way. But you don't know this is optimal or not. So we will go for the optimality test. Now we will go for the optimality test. Again, after this calculation, you write a fresh table here. You start from a fresh table for optimality. And look at that, the basic cells. There is a additional cell here, 1 3 1 1 3, and that is number 5 in number. And right at the top UI, and below you write VJ. Here you write UI, and here you write VJ. Okay, this is sometimes called UI VJ method for optimality, finding optimality solutions. So start with the first cell as 0. So we will apply two rules actually for this. What are the rules? You see, we will apply this one, UI plus VJ equal to Cij. Cij is the cost, that means 50 for all basic cells. You can note down this one, UI plus VJ equal to Cij for all basic cells, and UI plus VJ minus Cij for all non-basic cells. So these are the two formulae we will apply, UI plus VJ equal to Cij and UI plus VJ minus Cij. Okay, so we will apply here. So look at that. So for the first cell, I've started from 0. So U1, so what should be added to 0 so that we will get 50? It should be 50. So look at that. U1 is 0 and V1, you don't know V1, you have to substitute V1. So C1 is 550, C11 is 50, so V1 is 50. So here at this position you put 50. Okay, now this is 90, this is 90. So what should be added to 50 to get 90? 50 plus 40 is 90. Okay, 50 plus 40 is 90. That is for basic cells. Basic cells, UI plus VJ, UI plus VJ equal to Cij for basic cells. So this is basic cell. So that is why 50 plus 40 equal to 90. So here I am writing 40. Okay. Now this is 45. This is basic cell. This is basic cell. This is 45. So what should be added to 40 to get 45? 5. So I am writing 5 here. 5 plus 40 equal to 45 because I am following for basic cells UI plus VJ equal to Cij. Now this is 5. Now what should be added to 5 to get 200? 195. So I am writing 195 for U3. U3 is 195. Okay. So 195 plus 5 is 200. Now this is 195. What should be added to 195 to get 150? It's gonna be minus 45. If you add minus 45 to 195, you will get 150. So this is the filling of the UI and VJ. You can fill up the positions for U1, U2, starting with U1 equal to 0. I have started with U1 equal to 0. You can start from here also. In the second row, you can put U1 equal to 0 because there is no such rule, but it is always preferable that where you have number of basic cells, maximum number of basic cells, you can start from there. Some books are following for this, but I have started from U1. You can get it. So you are filling U1, U2, U3, V1, V2, V3 by following this rule, UI plus VJ equal to Cij. UI plus VJ equal to Cij. Now I will calculate, yes, just wait. I will calculate these cells. I will calculate the non-basic cells. For non-basic cells, you have UI plus VJ minus Cij. For non-basic cells, you have UI plus VJ minus Cij. So let's calculate for the, this is your non-basic cell. Look at that. This is your non-basic cell. This is your basic cell, non-basic cell number 1, 2. So this is 1, 2 is the non-basic cell. So let us calculate. What is U1 here? 0. What is the corresponding V1? 5. So 0 plus 5 minus 30. Because 0 plus 5 and C12 is 30. So that will give you minus 25. So look at that, you have minus 25, negative. Okay. Now the next basic cell. Again, you are considering U1 0 and the corresponding V3 is minus 45. So 0 minus 45. And what is your Cij? That is C13, 220. So that is 220. So it's negative. Minus 265. It's negative. Okay, fantastic. It's negative. I've just substituted the negative sign. I don't need the values. I just need the sign. So I put the negative sign. Now the next basic cell is this one. This is your 3 3 position, sorry, 2 3 position, second row, third column. This is your non-basic cell. So for this non-basic cell, you are considering U2 as 40, U2 as 40, and the corresponding V3 is minus 45. So 40 minus 45, and what is your C23? 170. So minus 170. So that is also negative. That is again negative. That is again negative. Similarly, if you calculate this one, this is the non-basic cell. Once again, this is your non-basic cell. It will give you the negative values. It will give you the negative sign. Okay. So all the non-basic cells are negative. Now let's come to the conclusion. Let's come to the conclusion. So using the Vogel's approximation method, the initial basic feasible solution already displayed. Now we will start with this solution and we'll arrive at the optimal solution. That the variables un and vj are determined using the successively the relations we have already, using the basic cell starting with u1 equal to 0. These values are then used to compute the net evaluations ui plus vj minus uij for all the non-basic cells. Net evaluations, that is the term. So we have calculated, since all the net evaluations are non-positive, that is either 0 or you can get negative, the current solution is an optimal one. That is the optimal criteria. If your all net evaluations are negative or 0, that is non-positive, the current solution is an optimal one, and the optimal cost of transportation is given by the initial basic feasible solution. That is 1 into 50. Look at that in the table. 1 into 50, 3 plus 3 into 90 plus 1 into 45 plus 1 into 200 plus 3 into 50. If you take the sum of this, you will get the optimal solution, that is 715 units. That's the solution. And your x11 is 1. This is your optimal solution arrived at x111, x121, sorry, x21 is 3, x22 is 1, x32 is 1, and x33 is 3. So that will give you the optimal solution and the testing process. So you are applying, just you have to remember, you are applying ui plus vj equal to cij for all the basic cells and ui plus vj minus cij for all the non-basic cells. So in this lecture, you have the concept of Vogel's approximation method, how to deal with the Vogel's approximation method. That is the best method in transportation problems because the solution is very close. That is why the approximation word is there. The solution is very close to the optimal solution, and you will get the, you already got the knowledge for how to calculate the optimal solution.